There's a new generation of really powerful tools, such as Claude Code and OpenAI Codex. But there's one key thing that they require, which is access to a file system. Now, you can't just really give them access to the entire file system. So you have to pick and choose which little bits of context, which folders you are going to make available to the AI. But then that raises the question, how are you going to organize that file system? What is the hierarchy that makes sense? Well, I've been using my para method for more than a decade now. I have a best-selling book that sold tens of thousands of copies. So I thought, why don't I give my para method a try? The last 2 weeks have been crazy. I was traveling. We have a new baby on the way. Both my work life and my personal life are a complete circus. So the first thing to fall through the cracks, I'm sure that the same is true with you as well, is organizing my files and folders. That's the last thing on my priority list. What you see here on my computer desktop is sort of a random collection of things that have piled up over the last 2 weeks. We have everything from screenshots from websites to PDFs to markdown files, Excel spreadsheets, financial statements, to even a compressed zip file. This is a really wide range of content that has to do with many different aspects of both my work and life. I've gone ahead and opened up the Claude app. This is the desktop app for Mac. We're going to be working with Claude Code today. This is a completely new and blank Pro plan, which costs $20 a month. So I have memory turned off and it has no connectors turned on. So everything that you see here is going to be exactly what you would see if you sign up for a Pro account tomorrow and try this yourself. Also, I'm going to be using the most powerful model, which is Opus 4.6, at least as of this filming, to really put it through its paces and see what Claude Code is capable of. So the first thing I want to know is whether Claude already knows about Para. It's quite possible that my book or my blog posts or other content that I've created on the Para method is already in the training data. So let me go ahead and ask it. Do you already know about the Para method by Tiago Forte? I'll go ahead and click Trust Workspace, and there we go. So it says yes. The Para method is a system for organizing digital information created by you, assuming you're the Tiago Forte. Yes, I am. I really just want to check this and make sure that it's not hallucinating. Yes, that's correct, that's correct, that's correct. This is completely 100% correct. So I can certify that it knows very well the criteria of the Para method. So you can see it asks, is there something specific about Para you'd like to work on? And yes, indeed, there is. But before we move on, there's something I really need you to understand. This is the single biggest difference and differentiator between the standard chat and a more powerful harness, such as Claude Code. If I go up here to the top left and click New Session, you'll notice that I have the option to click right here and to pick a folder. This is also known as a working directory. That's like its little sandbox, its little playground. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is create a new folder on the Mac that's Shift-Command-N and call it Para Reorg. This is basically how I start every significant session that I'm going to be doing with Claude Code. Then I'm going to get every single file on my desktop and drop it into that new folder. This way, everything that I'm doing and everything that Code is doing is contained to one place where I know where to find it. Now, in this new session, I can click the little button down here, say choose a different folder, and then within the desktop, I'm going to choose the Para Reorg folder as our sandbox. And with that very simple setup, we are ready to run the experiment. I'll go ahead, hold down the function key, and ask it to organize all the files, folders, and documents into the Para system. If there's anything that you're unsure about, ask me. So you can see it's exploring the folder hierarchy that I've given it. It's actually reading the documents, not just looking at the names of them. It's also reading the screenshots because it can read images. That took about 2 or 3 minutes, and it now says it has a good picture of everything with a few questions for me before it starts moving things. So interesting. One of the PDFs, it said it had trouble reading it. And so it's asking me what it's about. And it's quite helpful that it's giving me a multiple choice answer because the answer is clearly personal, as this is related to an upcoming vacation that we're taking. There were 3 screenshots that were actually of Claude itself, and it wants to know just what are these for? That's a great question because any given image or screenshot could be used for multiple different purposes. And these are in fact for the creation of this very video. So funny. A couple things such as a screenshot of a calendar deletion and a meme from Reddit. It's basically asking for permission to just archive these as ephemeral items, and that's absolutely right. Okay, so you can see it's basically proposing what it's going to be doing. It has identified 4 projects, 3 areas, and 1 archive. And often if Claude Code is doing something that's a little, let's say, risky or high stakes, it will ask for permission. I typically always just say, always allow. So you can see it's now created a to-do list for itself, which is something that makes it easier for it to stay on track and to not lose track of what it's doing. You can see that it's actually going ahead and crossing off the to-dos as it completes them. And there we go. That took about 3 or 4 minutes. And it's summarizing what it's done. It has organized the various documents into 4 projects, 3 areas, and an archive. So I'll go ahead and open up the Finder, go to the desktop, open up Para-Reorg, and let's check its work. So within projects, the overall projects look correct. This is the launch of a course that we're going to be doing soon, the creation of the YouTube video that you are watching at this very moment, my upcoming book that will be released in November, and an amendment to the company's operating agreement. So within the course launch, yes. Let's check these screenshots. Yes, those are all polls that I ran to try to get a sense of our audience's usage of Claude. And then these are CSVs with all the comments that have been left on our YouTube videos related to AI. So this is all 100% correct. Now let's try the YouTube video. Let's see here. Those are also correct. So it's interesting because in both of these projects, there's a lot of content related to Claude Code. It was actually wise enough to notice that there was kind of a different emphasis and to actually ask me whether some of them, these ones right here actually, apply to something different, which in fact they do. Let's now take a look at things related to my book. Yes, that's right. That's right. So this is kind of obvious because you see, book covers and a lot of book content, but those are also all correct. And then finally, the amendment to our operating agreement has 2 documents related to it, and that's also correct. So everything to do with the project so far was 100% correct. Let's go up a level now and look at areas. It looks like it created an area for family with our vacation information, for my finances. So interesting. I actually noticed something that's different from what I would have done. A few of these documents don't have to do with the area of finances generally. They have to do with a project within finances, which is filing my taxes. There's really no way for Claude to know that, but I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder here and just say 2025 taxes. And I know that this, and this, actually most of these have to do with this year's taxes. Let's actually take that out of there and move it from the areas up here into the projects. Once this 2025 taxes project is finished, I will indeed put it away in the finances area, but I like to kind of elevate its visibility until it's finished so that I don't lose track of it. Okay, let's close projects and then go into areas. And one more, which is personal development, which is in fact my notes from the course that I took and then Claude's analysis of those notes. So besides that little small discrepancy with the taxes project, this is also correct. Let's go ahead and close that. And finally, the archive. I see my little Reddit meme here, another version of it. And then this is interesting. There's a couple screenshots here from Claude itself that it decided were not that important or actionable, but they actually are. The reason I took these screenshots is that they captured little behaviors of Claude that were unexpected, that were surprising, that I want to be able to surface actually in the course that we're teaching. So this is a great example where something that at first glance seems not very important or relevant, actually, because of context that I have, that the AI does not, I know are much more important than they seem. So I'm going to go ahead and select those two screenshots, move them out of archive, and then I'll move them into projects and into the planning for the course that will soon be launching. And there we go. So in the experiment that we just conducted, Claude Code actually put 7 out of the 32 documents in the wrong place. That means it got 78% of the decisions correct. Think about what that level of accuracy means for the reliability, what I am relying on Claude to do for me. What are the stakes of that 2025 taxes project being kind of buried down there in areas and not front and center at the top level projects? I might forget to file something. It might be less of a priority. I might delay. I might miss a deadline. There are real stakes even for relatively minor errors. And you know what? If you've never tried my para method before, I would really learn the method first through manual organization. Setting up para, especially for the first time, it teaches you and it reveals the structure of your life. That has always been the true purpose of para, is to understand the landscape, the structure of your life, not move things around into folders. Every single person's para hierarchy looks different because their life looks different, their work looks different, their minds work differently. This is a bottom-up approach that actually maps to the reality of your current life. We've created an official para skill, which you can access for free below, that contains a bunch of little subtle instructions and guidelines to try to get that accuracy rate a little bit higher.